Check. All right, welcome to my YouTube A Square Maths What Made Easy Academy. Now, in today's video, we are going to be considering a topic that is called polynomial function. That is called what? Polynomial function. So make sure you subscribe, make sure you comment, and make sure you share. Now, let us continue. I want you to observe this question. We are going to classify this polynomial function into two. My first video is going to be when it is remainder. When it is what? Remainder. And look up, everyone. So I want to share with you this. Now, the topic we are dealing with under polynomial function is polynomial function with two unknown that lead to simultaneous what? Equation. And the two unknown we are going to talk about is the one that has remainders what? Theorem. Okay, permit me now to bring out the question so that we can solve it. Now, this question, I will use the normal method to solve it. Then after that, I will now use the try by error method, which is the shortcut also to solve it. The reason is because of the word option. Now, give me your attention. What is the question? The question says, when the expression pm squared plus qm plus 1 is divided by m minus 1, it has a remainder what? 2. And when divided by m plus 1, the remainder is what? 4. Now, the question is find p and q what? Respectively. Now, look at the options. A, minus 2, comma, minus 1. B, minus 1, comma, 2. C, 3, comma, minus 2. And D, minus 2, comma, what? 3. Now, I want us to look at the question first. The key words there is these ones that I have underlined. Now, look at this. Divided by, and it has what? A remainder what? 2. And the second one again, when divided by, you still underline it. Then the remainder is what? 4. These are the two key words when solving what? Remainders what? Theorem. Now, I want to start. Watch. The condition is that when is a polynomial function said to be remainder? It is said to be a remainder theorem when f of m is equal to r. Is equal to what? R. And that r is what we call what? The remainder. Or invariably, I can say f of what? M is not equal to what? 0. We call it what? Remainders what? Theorem. Now, this is the formula I'm going to introduce. Why am I using m? Is because the divided by has m minus 1 and also have m plus what? 1. Are you there? What I'm going to do now is to remove f of m. It is already given in the question, which is p m squared. Are you with me? Plus q what? M. Then plus what? 1 is now equal to the remainder, which is the first one. Now, observe the remainder in the first one. Look at it. It has a remainder 2. I will now remove r and put what? 2. Are you there? Now, the next thing is to consider the divisor. The first divisor is tagged as case what? 1. So how do we generate it? It is divided by m minus what? 1. So the law is this. We now say let m minus 1 be equal to 0. What is our target here? Is to make m subject of the word formula. So I'm crossing minus 1 to the right hand side so that m will now be alone. Is now equal to 1. Are you there? How is it 1? Because when minus move to the right, it will give you plus 1. Now, if we have gotten the value of m, it means that we now go back to f of m. Anywhere we come across what? M, fix in what? 1. Then if you are doing that, we have p. Are you there? Bracket. I have seen m. M is what? 1. Then all squared. Plus, this one is what? Q. Bracket. Another m is what? 1. Then plus what? 1 equal to 2. Are you there now? Then watch this. 1 square will give us what? 1. Then 1 times p is what? P. Plus q times 1 will give you what? Q. Then plus what? 1 equal to what? 2. What am I going to do? Is to collect those ones that has digit to the right hand side, leaving with us p plus q. Are you there? Then it's now equal to, what do you have here? 2. Now this plus 1 will move over to the right. It will give you minus 1. So this now implies that p plus q will now give you equal to 2 minus 1 will give you 1. Then call it equation 1. Then the next thing is to move to case what? 2 for the second remainder. Now let's continue with the question again. Look up. And when divided by what? M plus what? 1, the remainder is what? 4. So which means back to P M squared plus Q what? M. Are you there? Then plus 1 is equal to the remainder. And what is the value of the remainder? It is what? 4. I will now fix 4. Then the next thing is to appreciate the divisor. The divisor is M plus what? 1. Then I will now say, let M plus 1 be equal to what? 0. Can I make M subject now? Then you carry plus 1 to the right, so that the value of M should now be equal to minus 1. Then let's go back to the function now. Anywhere I see M, remove it and put what? Minus 1. It will now give us P bracket. What is M? Minus 1. Then all what? Squared. Plus Q. Are you there? I have seen another M. What is it? Minus 1. Then plus what? 1. Then equal to 4. Oh yeah, let's dissolve this. If you multiply minus 1 twice, the minus will disappear. It will give you 1. 1 times P is what? P. Then Q times minus 1 is minus what? Q. Then carry plus 1 to the right hand side, so that it will now give you 4. Are you there? Minus what? 1. So which implies that P minus Q should now be equal to 4 minus 1 will give you what? 3. Call it equation what? 2. It has now led us to what we call simultaneous what? Equation. 2 unknown. So I can use the method of solving simultaneous equation, but I advise you the best way or the shorter form is using what? Substitution method. Then I will now consider equation 1 and make any of the variables subject of the formula, so that we have P plus Q is equal to 1. So make P the subject, then take plus Q to the right, so that the value of P now will now be equal to 1 minus Q. Are you with me? Now, if that equation 1 is satisfied, can we move over to equation 2? And equation 2 is already given. What is the value? P minus Q is now equal to what? 3. And I want you to know that we have already gotten the value of P in equation 1. Equation 1, P is 1 minus what? Q. Then I will now substitute. I have seen P here. What is the value? 1 minus what? Q. Then minus this what? Q. Then equal to what? 3. Collection of like terms. Minus Q will give us minus 2Q. How? Invisible 1, invisible 1. Minus 1 is what? Minus 2. Then you bring one of the Q. Then it's now equal to, this is 3, right? This one will move over to the right. It will give you minus 1. Then which means minus 2Q should now be equal to what? 2. Are you there? How is it 2? 3 minus 1 is what? 2. Freely, I can make Q subject of the formula. Or you divide this by minus 2. Divide the right by minus 2. Minus 2 will cancel what? Minus 2. Which means that the value of P now is now equal to, bring down the minus. 2 can divide itself to give us what? 1. So which means the value of P is what? Minus 1. If it is minus 1, then to get the value of Q, I will now move over to equation 1 that we have already made subject of the formula. And now look at it here. It means that P should now be equal to 1 minus Q. Are you there? We have gotten the value of Q already. This is Q. This is Q already. We have gotten the value, which is Q. Q is what? Minus 1. Then I have to substitute, so that my P should now be equal to 1 minus Q. And what is Q? Q is minus 1. Then which means minus should give us 1 plus 1. And 1 plus 1 is equal to what? 2. Then in summary, the question says find the value of P and what? Q. So which means P, comma what? Q is now equal to, what's the value of P? You write what? 2. And what is the value of Q? You write what? Minus 1. Oh my goodness. Now let us observe this particular answer and know whether it appears in the option. Are you there? Now look at question number A. It cannot be this. It cannot be this. Are you with me now? We have 2, right? We have 2, right? This is 2. and this is minus 1. Then this is the value of P. P is already 2, and Q is already minus what? 1. So which means that this one is minus 2. But the result we got in P is not minus 2. Mind you, it is minus minus, which is what? Plus. And 1 plus 1 is what? 2. So which means it cannot be this. But looking at it, it would have been this as the answer. But it did not appear here. So which means there is no answer in the what? Option. Are you with me now? So this is the basic way on how to solve a remainders what? Theorem. Thank you so much.